Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here, or Luna. So today's story time is kind of funny, kind of crazy. It's got a little bit of everything in it. I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do. And let's just get into it because, yeah, it's a good one. So today's story time all takes place freshman year of high school. Now, freshman year was an interesting year for me. It was my first year of high school, as it is for everyone when they're in ninth grade, a freshman. But it was actually the very beginning of freshman year, and I was having a pretty good time, I would say, in school. I wasn't quite failing my classes yet, and I had, a good amount of friends, and things were going good. Like my first year of high school wasn't going bad, to say the least. Well, I had this one friend. We'll just call him Jacob, okay? Jacob was a troll. There's no other way to put this, all right? Jacob was my biggest troll friend. Any chance Jacob would get to fuck with me or fuck with someone in our friend group, he would do it. And when I say that, I mean like pranks and, like doing something stupid. Just anything to inconvenience his friends, he would do it. He was a troll, okay? And one morning in freshman year, I woke up, got out of bed, took a shower, got ready for my day like I would always do. I went to school, and I walked into the school, and little did I know my day was about to be changed for something I didn't even do. So when I got to school, I got off the bus, I walked into the school building. My three friends were in the same spot they always were, at the same locker, waiting for me. Went up to them, got in our little group, and then usually we would just stand there for like 10, 15 minutes until the first bell would ring and talk, and more of our friends would come into the circle and just talk, and hang out until class would start, basically, first period. So we're standing there talking, and Jacob comes in about 5 minutes after I did, walks up to me, pats me on the back, and he's like, "Yo, man, how you doing?" And when he patted me on the back, I felt something. It didn't feel like a regular hand patting me on the back. It felt like something broke in his hand. And then after that, my shirt felt wet. And I started to smell something that was not a good smell. It smelled like a skunk died on my neck. And I turn around and I look at him and I was like, "What the fuck did you just put on my shirt? Like, it reeks." And he starts dying laughing, and so does the rest of my friends. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I already knew what it was. It was a stink bomb. They used to sell these things at the mall where I live. They're like these little glass capsules, or like not glass, but like plastic capsules. And you would break them, and they would, release this liquid that just smelled fucking terrible. And he bought a skunk one, and it really smelled like skunk. Not just skunk, kind of a hint of weed. I can't lie. I mean, weed kind of smells like skunk, so, that's obvious. But it was just like almost a little bit too much like weed and skunk combined. It was very weird. But it didn't smell good either, okay? And I was pissed because it was on my shirt, and I didn't have another shirt to wear, so I just knew that the rest of the day, everywhere I walked and everywhere I went, I was going to smell like skunky shit, okay? So I started freaking out. I fucking pinned Jake up against the locker, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Why would you do that?" And he's just dying laughing. He can't even get a word out, and the majority of my friends are laughing at me too. And I'm just like, "Dude, fuck all y'all." And then the first bell rang. So I had to go to class. So yeah, I put my hoodie back on, hoping that would cover up some of the smell, and hoped for the best. And I went to my first period class. And when I walked in, my teacher immediately got a whiff of me and gave me the dirtiest look. Don't know if it's because I smelled bad or if it's because she thought that it was weed. I guess we'll never know. Sat down in the back so no one could smell me. Got through first period pretty much okay. A couple, stares, but nothing crazy. But then I went to second period, and that's really where this story time kicks off, okay? So I get to second period. It was my English class. I sit down. I'm in the back of the room again. We didn't have assigned seats, so I sat in the very back next to nobody because I didn't want anyone to smell me. Literally, my one friend tried to sit next to me, and I was like, "Yo, Dylan, don't, bro. Just don't." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I got a stink bomb broken on my shirt, bro. I reek. Don't sit next to me." He's like, "Oh, okay. Appreciate the heads up, man." I'm like, "No problem." So about halfway through second period, my teacher kept like giving me weird looks and like staring at me, and I know that it was because she could smell it. But then she went over to the desk and got on the little teacher's phone thing, and she called the main office on me. Now, she was pretty, far up in the classroom, so I couldn't really hear what she said, but I know she called the main office on me because 5 minutes later, the school security guard came to my class and said, "Austin, come with me," and I got escorted up to the main office, and there was nobody else that could make that call except the teacher that was on the phone staring at me, so yeah. So on the way up to the main office, I looked over at my security guard, and I was like, why am I getting escorted to the main office? Like, what did I do? He's like, I don't know. I'm just here to bring you up there. You'll find out when you talk to the principal. I'm like, the principal? The principal wants to see me? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, for what? He's like, I don't know. They didn't tell me. I'm just bringing you up there. So he brings me up there, escorts me into the principal's office. I sit down, and the principal immediately gives me a very dirty look. His eyes said 1,000 words. Actually, they said 4 words. You smell like shit. That's what his look was telling me. So I just told him. I was like, listen, I know I don't smell good, okay? Someone broke a stink bomb on my back. I'm not happy about it either. He goes, a stink bomb? I was like, yeah, you know those little plastic capsules? My friend broke one on my back / like neck where my shirt was and got it on there, and now I can't get it off, and no matter what I do, it just smells really bad. And he's like, Austin, your teacher called you up here because you reeked of marijuana, the whole class, and she thinks that you smoked it right before coming in. And I was like, marijuana? He was like, yeah, you know what that is. Don't play dumb. I was like, I know, but that's what she thought she was smelling? No, it's a stink bomb. It's a skunk stink bomb. And he goes, whatever. If it really is a stink bomb, then you'd have no problem with us searching your bag, right? I was like, fucking go for it. Now, I can't lie. There was a part of me that so badly wanted to be like, no, I don't consent to a search, just to give him a hard time. But they probably would have found a way to do it anyway, so I was just like, fuck it. And they brought the school cop in, and the cop gave me an even dirtier look because he smelled it. And this fucking dude starts opening my bag and going through everything. And sure enough, he's not finding anything but a bunch of crumpled up papers and a bunch of snack wrappers I hadn't thrown out yet. Yeah, my backpack was very disorganized, to say the least. And he's like going through it. He's throwing everything on the floor. He's dumping it out. He's searching every little pocket. He's like really trying to find stuff. And he ends up obviously not finding anything, right? And he looks at me and he goes, why don't you just make this easy and tell me where the hidden pocket is where you keep your weed? And I start laughing, and he gets pissed. He's like, you think this is a laughing matter? I know you have that stuff in this school. Where is it? And I was like, sir, someone broke a skunk stink bomb on my back. That is why I smell like weed. He's like, that's bull crap. Just tell me the truth. I know you got some on you. And I was like, you know, officer, I don't really like these accusations, okay? I don't really like the fact that you're just accusing me like I have weed on me, like it's a fact. I told you the truth. You didn't find anything in your search. Let me go. And then he has me empty my pockets because I guess he hadn't done that yet. So I had to empty my pockets. And sure enough, nothing was in there except my phone. And he ends up finding nothing, right? And he's pissed because he thinks that it's there. And then I'm just hiding it like really well, right? Like it's in some secret compartment in my backpack. So they called in another school cop. Another cop comes up to the office, searches my backpack again and me. And then they called my mom. And my mom had to come in. And all 3 of them found nothing, and I told them all the same story, but they just wouldn't take no for an answer. They just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And I was like, listen, fucking Jacob was the one that broke the stink bomb on my shirt, on my back. Call him up here and he'll tell you that. Or check the camera. You could see it happen. And these motherfuckers actually went back in the security camera and rewatched at like 7:45 in the morning, Jacob coming into the school entrance, patting me on the back, breaking the stink bomb on my lower neck / shirt, and then me freaking out on camera and pinning him on the locker and yelling at him. So yeah, needless to say, they realized that they were idiots and that I was telling the truth. These motherfuckers didn't even say sorry. The school cops just left. My mom just said bye and that she'd see me later at home. And then when it was just me and the principal left, he goes, all right, you can go back to class. And listen, stop playing with stink bombs with your buddies, okay? That could get you suspended. And I was like, I didn't even break the stink bomb. It was Jacob on the camera. You could see it. How is it my fault that I got pranked? And he's like, well, I know how your friend group is. You guys are always doing this stuff to each other, so just don't encourage it, okay? And I was like, whatever. He goes, go back to class. So I leave the office. I go back downstairs. My second period class was just about to end. I went up to the teacher's desk, grabbed the assignments that I missed that class, and I looked at her and I was like, hey, thanks for calling me up to the principal and making me get searched like 3 times. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And she gave me like the most like guilty expression and then just like didn't say a word. And I left. And that was that. There's kind of a part 2 to this story that I'll probably tell tomorrow. So yeah, get ready for that. But that's where that one ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Moral of the story is, don't go breaking stink bombs on people's clothes. That's not okay. Especially in a public place like school where they don't have a change of clothes. Yeah, like literally, I couldn't change in anything. My only other option was my gym clothes in the locker room, which smelled like gym and sweat, so that would be probably even worse. So yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace.